Full disclosure, news and commentary number 82, 82, 82, 82, 82. A bit of a location shoot. So I'm going to have this microphone and hold it like a mimosa right next to my mouth. Old full disclosure joke. If you know, you know. Got the Kumite shirt on today. Chong Li. And I am ready to go. I'm going to make this relatively short and sweet because I have to help somebody film a promo in just a moment. And then I'm going to a sports bar with friends to check out the Bears game. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then I'm going to have to catch up with various videos that I'm doing. And of course, I'll look at Raw tonight. And then the AEW Dark, which looks to be a huge show with at least 14 matches, maybe 15 nuts. Onward and onward, and I still have to put out that analysis of the Jericho MJF musical number, what it means to wrestling, what I thought about it, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to put that out as well. It's a lot, and I put out 2 videos today. Patreon video. Speaking of which, thank you to my Patreon subscribers. Justin, of course, who's new. Appreciate it. Dan, Joe Black, Derek, Brett, Diana, Larry, Brian, and Rob Rod. And that Larry, by the way, it's not that one, it's the other one. And then our 3 big OGs, Eric the World Walker, Viral Pro Wrestling, and the OG Myron. The big contributions are especially appreciated, though all of them are, because at the end of the week, I price out the trophies for the Georgia Wrestling History Awards. And believe me, any help you can give in regards to that, I would most certainly appreciate. People have expressed in the past, this was before COVID, so I didn't hold anybody to this because I understood. But anybody who wants to contribute mightily to those trophies, I would greatly appreciate it. I have a feeling they're going to be a pretty penny because they're going to be custom made and they're going to be nicer and all that kind of stuff. But I'll let you know what's going on with that. Our commentary is about Owen Knight, who's a name that comes up a lot. When I put out my thing about the Georgia Wrestling Awards, a lot of people told me, like, Owen Knight, I think he gets overlooked. And I've heard about this for, honestly, years. But, like, Owen Knight gets overlooked. Owen Knight gets overlooked. Owen Knight, Owen Knight, Owen Knight. Allow me to rebut. And that's going to be part of our commentary, so stick around for that. PCW, Swamp Rules, Southern Violence, they drew 120 featuring their Buried Alive match. So I called this Swamp Rules versus Buried Alive because a lot of people were trying to decide and pick and choose what show to go to based on which specialty match they wanted to see more, which felt very throwback and very old school wrestling, which is really cool. Reports are up for Southern Violence that they sent and for PCW that Larry did. And Southern Violence also had a report from Rob Rod. So you could read about that there. Livewire drew 100, but I wanted to highlight Charles Felder, who has been interested in doing reports for Georgia wrestling history. And this was his first one about a show specifically. And I got to give high marks to him, man. It looks really great. Really, really great. The only thing I would say, because they are so detailed, is it's interesting that Charles gives the time limit of the matches that are announced, but not the time that the match took. That's a small nitpicky point. Beyond that, I thought his little intro to the show was great. The review of the matches themselves was very solid, and his post-analysis was really good, and giving credit for people who had worked on the show who weren't directly like talent, I thought was really classy and really cool, including who did the pictures and the flyers and did the video. And really great job, Charles. Welcome to the team. And he's representing a part of Georgia that usually doesn't get coverage, and you know I'm all about that, so it's great stuff. Pro South, it was a go-home show for their big thing on the 30th, this Friday. Oh, my God, it's already Halloween, y'all. And Austin Towers cutting. Normally, I don't point out individual stuff in the shows, but this idea of Austin Tower cutting is a pure babyface promo without any shenanigans around it, I think it's really cool. and I would love to hear the promo. So I need to go out of my way to go listen to that. Heritage, they did a show, no announcement of crowd numbers. Get those crowd numbers in there. And then I'm curious. I heard that they had a good crowd, but I would be curious how Promociones Nesa Lucha Libre did. Looked like an unbelievable show with the likes of Conan were there. And they were doing free ticks at the Plaza Fiesta. And I have a little personal connection to the old Plaza Fiesta. For the first Sacred Ground, we had the luchador extraordinaire, Cassandro. He was taking on Dwight Power. And we did a lot of promotions. We did an autograph signing for Cassandro and all that kind of stuff through Plaza Fiesta. So they'll always be close to my heart. And that place is cool. If you've never been to Plaza Fiesta, it's a cool place to visit and just to go. I highly advise you to do it. But if you can see a wrestling show around there, even better. Cool. Recently, Nick and Myron on their Tapped Out, which you should be watching / listening to. This show, last show in particular, I thought was really great. And they talked about the Georgia Wrestling History Awards and this idea of maybe we should just push the dates back on everything. Meaning, usually we have the nominees out by November. And then voting commences right at the end of November, beginning of December. And then we do the awards show before the year's even up. Or we do it immediately at the beginning of the year. Which means we've cut shows off. Show of the year from AWE, for example, takes place like December 26th / 27, right around there. And so they always get cut out of the deal. And so it was suggested that maybe we should just push everything back, especially in light, and that way we can get more stuff in for the awards, since we went through like 5 months there where we didn't get to see wrestling shows. I agree. And Larry and I will talk about it and work it out. But my gut is we'll just go to the end of the year. And then at the end of the year, we will quickly call together the nominees. Voting will take place in rapid order because of the way we do it now that people have set up and done such a great job with. And then we'll be able to announce winners, I would say, by the 2nd or 3rd week of January. And then it really does cover 2019. If you have thoughts about that, just let me know. Otherwise, I don't see why it doesn't make sense to do it that way. Makes sense, huh? Cool. IWE, November 21st, they're finally going to do a show. And it's going to have Alexander Hammerstone, who I'm a huge fan of, especially, I was a fan before, but seeing him at MLW really cinched that for me. I just think he's great. He's going to be there. And that means all the majors are back in, except for Viral. Viral has put out this video series that I've been told is really good. I need to sit down and watch all of them in a row. Let me promise this. If this thing goes well with the Jericho MJF musical thing, where I'm commenting along and being able to pause whenever I want, I'm going to do a reaction to everything that Viral has put out. Makes sense? I am more than willing to do that, assuming I can get the technology piece in place. But it looks like that I can. And that's cool. Commentary. And I know you're saying commentary. Holy shit, we're only at the 9-minute mark. I've been told, I got a notice that something got sent to my P.O. box. Unfortunately, I am in Clearwater, not in Orlando. So I couldn't get it for an unboxing. So this video has just whipped on by. But so it goes. Sometimes they're an hour. Sometimes they're half an hour or more. They usually are. This one's probably going to be a little less, and that's okay. I'd rather do that and then give you your Monday night full disclosure. Yep. Commentary, Owen Knight. Owen Knight's been tearing it up for a while, right? Back in the AWE days when he worked there, that's where he really started to make his name, at least as far as I saw it. But Viral uses him prominently. Any number of promotions uses him, and everybody sings his praises. So here's the question. Then why the fuck are people having to promote him to me? Why the fuck do I not know? Now, you can put a lot of that blame on me, I guess, if you want to. Or let me use it as a teachable moment, right? I haven't. What's the most prominent thing Owen Knight has done? Jeff G. Bailey, God bless him. Once when he and I we were not having a debate amongst ourselves. We were sort of talking about common things that a lot of wrestling fans seem to say. And I believe we were talking about Dolph Ziggler. How like wrestling fans are like, Dolph Ziggler deserves more and Dolph Ziggler's so great and da-da-da. And Jeff G goes like, then point me to the great Dolph Ziggler match. Point me to the great Dolph Ziggler promo that people quote and just can't forget because it was so amazing. And I'm calling it the Jeff G. Bailey factor. So for Owen Knight, point me to the great match. Point me to the great promo. And now am I saying Owen Knight doesn't have them? Is that a challenge? No. But what I'm saying is when all of these people are rightfully saying Owen Knight's really great and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, how come none of them can just put a link to a match or a promo? What I'm saying is I think it's great that the boys have this instinct of putting each other over. I just think that they think that them saying something on Facebook has way more weight than it fucking does. If you want to promote somebody, then for crying out loud, put a match of theirs up or a promo of theirs up and fucking show me. Because when left to my own devices, I put in Owen Knight just to see what came up. You know what came up? A fucking character in The Bold and the Beautiful. Took up most of the spots. And before I could switch off, I said, oh no, but there is a wrestling thing here. So that seemed fair to me. I put in Owen Knight and I clicked on the first wrestling thing I saw. What did I see? Viral, who has been touting and praising Owen Knight for quite a while. And it was him hitting John Davis, who I love, with a chair. And it looked good for what it was. And then Sean Legacy came out, speared the living shit out of him. And then James Caleb Kitchens, who manages Owen Knight, I guess, went to the top row, missed with the chair shot, and then got hit with a cutter and sold it and that all this goofy shit. And then John Davis ended it with this great promo explaining like Sean Legacy, you were here for me, so now you got somebody else on your team. Got the story. It was great. What little Owen Knight did in that thing looked really good. I'll say that. You know what happened? It immediately went to the next video into the feed. I guess it was maybe a Facebook video that had popped up in the search. And it was the great Joe Black promo for Southern Honor setting up his thing with Corey Hollis. And even the great John Davis promo that had just happened was blown away by this thing that Joe Black did. So I'm doing this commentary to introduce all of you to the notion of what I'm calling the Bailey factor. Show me the great match. Show me the great promo. Especially when it comes to these awards. I don't want to hear, and if you think you're doing someone a favor just by going, you're sleeping on blank. Because there's a lot of names that people claim that people are sleeping on. Trevor Aon, Owen Knight, for example. What they need to do is they need to have something resume ready, I'm calling it. 2 or 3 matches that are your fucking best shit. 2 or 3 promos that are great shit, and have them where people can access them and share them. If you want to help somebody, they have to help themselves and have shit on the ready that you can access in order to promote them. That means a hell of a lot more than everybody just jerking each other off, saying each other's names and how great they are like that does a fucking thing. It doesn't. You know what helps? You can help each other out by having great matches and promos to show so you can pass the Bailey smell test. And then people like me see that shit and I promote it here. If you think it doesn't matter that I call shit out here, it does. So here's my fucking challenge. Show me the great Owen Knight match. Show me the great Owen Knight promo. And I'll fucking talk about it here. Because it really is at the end of the day about helping each other out. But it's also not bullshitting each other. If there's a great Owen Knight match to be seen, then fucking show it to me. This has been Full Disclosure.